All right, welcome back to Missing Persons TV. I'm Brian Ladd. Again, I have Deborah on the phone with me, and I have Kevin Doyle, who's with us right now. He'll be back in about 5 minutes. He's just going to jump in and help us out if we need any help. As discussed last night, we are going to be continuing the Rui Pedro Mendonca case, and then we're going to discuss. First off, we're going to discuss the two new cases that we have open. Then we're going to go to that case, and then we're going to see how that case possibly relates. I think it definitely relates to the Madeleine McCann case. So first of all, Deborah, how you doing? And happy April Fool's Day.
I'm great, Brian. Happy April Fool's Day to you.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Oh, fine. Thanks for the jokes. That was great. I loved it. And I hope you enjoyed yours, even though you didn't believe me. But don't worry, next time I'm going to get something that you will believe.
Oh, I got a good laugh out of it. Brian fell for the April Fool's joke I pulled on him, but I didn't fall for the one that pulled on me. Brian actually called in reinforcements. Him and Kevin tried to April Fool me, and it didn't work, but I laughed from start to finish.
Yeah, what we did is we basically did a series of Skyping chat back and forth about Deborah, and then we really didn't think that she needed to be part of the team, and that I had this offer from Hollywood or something like that, and we didn't want her, and she could see right through it. So I don't know if that's good or bad, Deborah. We're gonna work on it, then. We'll get you one day.
No, it was funny. It was so funny.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get started. First case up is case number 713, and this is for K. Francis Reed. The case was actually opened on March 31st of 2009. Deborah, what information do we have on K?
Okay, well, this might be a good time to tell you this also, Brian, at the same time that I'm telling your listeners here.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow night, this case was actually your help on this case, and you opening this case was requested by Gail St. John. And you will be on her show tomorrow night for the K. Francis Reed case.
Okay,
so
does Brian know that?
To tune in, that would be at psychicgail.com, and Gail spelled Gale, and I believe it's at 9 p.m.
Okay, I know that already because I didn't.
Well, did you know that it was
I know. I think I knew this was Gail's case request or something, but I didn't know that I was doing the show.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes, you knew that. So you'll be on Gail's show tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll just cancel everything else. No, I'm kidding. I'll be on there.
Just informing you of your schedule.
Okay, so these dream drawings, the case actually was opened on 3/31/2009. Dream drawings were done the night of March 30th, 2009, 2 days ago. This is already April. So what information do you have on Kay, Deborah?
Well, Kay has been missing since February 14th of 2008, so just a little bit over a year, from Tucson, Arizona. Her date of birth is August 26th, 1945. She is 63 years old right now, 5 feet 2 inches tall, 125 pounds, a Caucasian female with graying blonde hair and hazel eyes. She wears glasses for distant vision, but she didn't have them with her. Some of her back teeth are missing, and she has caps on a front tooth and on a back tooth. She does have a bump on the bridge of her nose from a previous car accident, and she has also previously broken her left ankle and her left kneecap, and may have a fractured left rib. She is handicapped as a result of having polio when she was a child. Her right leg is approximately 4 sizes smaller than her left leg. She needs either a leg brace or crutches to walk, and she doesn't have either with her. She also has scoliosis, and her back is hunched because of that, and enough that you can notice it. She was last heard of, and this gets specific to the minute, at approximately 9:24 p.m. on February 14th of 2008 at her residence at the 7300 block of Marigold Circle in Tucson. A family member could not reach her, and so they went over to the home the next morning at 7:45. The front door was shut, but it was unlocked at the time. Her leg brace and crutches were left behind, but her van was missing, and so was she. There was no signs of forced entry. At 9:30 in the morning, They did find Kay's van, a turquoise 1996 Dodge Caravan with Arizona plates, at the intersection of Gulf, Lynx, and Kolb Road, which is about 2 miles from her home. The interior of the van had been set on fire. They also did find her burned wheelchair inside of the van. They did come up with surveillance footage from a Conoco gas station nearby that a man had Kay's van. He had tried to use her credit card, but he wasn't successful. He tried to use it to get money out of an ATM machine. They have never been able to identify him. They say that he's either Caucasian or Hispanic, 5'6" to 5'9" tall, and about 160 to 180 for his weight. He's in his 20s or 30s with short dark hair and a receding hairline. He's got a pockmarked face, and his teeth are in bad condition. That day he was wearing a tan coat, a white shirt, and dark colored cargo pants. Kay was a medical records clerk at Palo Verde Mental Health Hospital. She also was active within her church. She was a Sunday school teacher and other things at St. Paul's United Methodist. She also volunteered each year at a summer camp for mentally disabled children. She's not the kind of person that would leave, of her own free will. And they do suspect foul play here, Brian.
Okay. She sounds like a wonderful lady. What you're saying to me seems like that she did meet with foul play and would possibly be deceased. That's not what the DD suggests, though. Let me read you there's actually 3 of them. The first one says he did not harm her. The letter is a lie. Go to, and it says blue pen. There is a YHS drawing, or it could be YTHS drawing in the first dream drawing. The second one says, I realize that my spelling is not that good, but I do have spell check that corrects it on the bottom. Phoenix, Arizona statue with 2 men, auto sale. To me that looks like the flags or lights, this says lights, that sometimes you would see on like car dealerships or something like that. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know where the statue is, but it says statue. Unless that's a spelling error, but it's STATUE, statue to me. The next one says 811 Ford, and that could be a phone number, and I believe that's on side of a building, and it could be an auto garage or whatever. As far as death or any of the feelings of that, I didn't get that, but it does seem highly likely that she was harmed, according to what you just said. But what I'm saying is I didn't get any of that from the dream drawings 2 nights ago. Anything else on this case?
Well, I'm glad to hear that you got that outcome, Brian, because I've seen on cases before, and I mean, some of these people are still missing, but you don't always, have the result in some of these cases when clearly everyone pretty much feels, or they actually think they know that someone is deceased, and you come up with the opposite. For example, Natalie Holloway.
Well, that hasn't been proven, though. With Natalie Holloway, that's
right. That's not been proven.
Right. Now, the cases that you're referring to, a lot of them, if you go to brianstreams.com/found, those cases are there too. If anybody wants to see what you're talking about.
Well, also another name that comes to mind, and I know you're not. This probably won't ring a lot of bells with you because Natalie's case got a lot of attention. That would be the Cedrica Provencher case from Canada. Everyone just assumes that she's deceased, and that is not the result you got. Mm-hmm. And that's the case that you did a couple months back. I think you did it in January.
Okay. I remember the Sean Hornbeck case. They said he was dead. They said he was dead for 4 years. So.
Right. Exactly, and that's confirmed. So I mean, it does happen. So when
I hope she's alive. It seems like she's not going to be. But I definitely hope that she is. What you're talking about, fires and burning wheelchairs and stuff, then that's absolutely horrible. And he would do that to a wonderful lady like her. I mean, it's a sick world, I guess.
If she's taken, and they do have that unidentified person that had her van. If she was taken, she was taken. She didn't have her glasses. She didn't have her leg brace or her crutches in order to walk, and then her wheelchair is burned too. I mean, that's just horrible. I mean, this lady seems like she's done so many wonderful things and was doing them at that stage in her life. And, you know, and someone who was 62 years old at the time, she went missing too. And I just, it's horrible, you know, that someone does that. I pray and I hope that she's fine and she's well out there and there's a much better explanation for this.
Okay. Now, Gail, I know Gail, this is Gail's case. She's going to be doing you said a show tomorrow. That I guess I'm a part of.
Yes.
Okay, Gail's chatting with me right now. Let's bring her in real quick. I mean, real quick too, because we do have to move on. And see what she has to say about this case. I know she's going to discuss that on her website tomorrow. I got to find the right phone number for this.
And for those that don't know, Gail also has the chat room and she does the live show. And then the show is also archived for those that can't listen at that time, but you can go to Psychic Gail, and that is Gail spelled GALE.com, in order to participate or to hear it in the archives or whatever. So if you'd like to know more about that case, please tune in. I think Gail answered. Are you there, Gail?
Gail St. John.
Okay, Brian, I don't see her on the Skype here. Are you sure you called her?
I'm not sure of much. I think I called somebody.
Oh, I don't see anybody being called, to be honest.
Well, I might have called my mom. I need to call my mommy too. Okay, I did something wrong. Hang on one second. Sorry, guys. This new version of Skype is a little weird, and I know I added her. It's somewhere.
You did not add her to our conversation, Brian.
Okay, no, but I was just doing something. I added something. I had somebody somewhere. I don't know. I don't know now. Let's try again real quick. Okay, here we go.
Okay, I see Gail now on Skype.
I had somebody
Brian's
else. I had it.
Calling Gail now. He's actually doing it.
Hello?
Is Gail there?
Hold on.
Gail?
Hello? Yeah.
Okay, well, you know we're on the air, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The case we're working on is K. Reed, case 713. You have a case on this, and we're discussing this tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you want to say anything about this case or anything, or I just went over what I had. I went over what I've already done what I had from the dream drawings. I'm not exactly sure how far you've gotten into this, or Reggie or Travis or whatever they're doing.
I have not.
Okay, well then it's not a good idea for me to. So what do you want to talk about? Just the broadcast tomorrow? Because we already mentioned that.
Yeah, we've been asking people to tune in if it, you know, so they can learn more about Kay's case.
Yeah, I have not worked it. I'm going to be working it live.
Okay. So why did we call you?
They wanted me to work it live, so I agreed to it.
Okay. So why did we just call you?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine, Gail.
Okay,
tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Gail St. John will be on, and we'll be discussing Kay Francis Reed, right?
And she will actually work on this case live, not previous.
Will Reggie and Travis be there?
Right, they will be there.
Okay. Thanks, Gail.
All right.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. I guess I was misinformed. I'm getting an echo now. That's got to be me?
I don't think it's me, Brian. To be honest, it's usually you.
I know it's usually me, but it's cool. It's gone now. Gail. Brian, it's too much. Okay, guys, let's move on. And like I said, Gail will be on tomorrow night. Moving on to case number 714. We'll get the graphic up here. Okay, this case was requested to be open. Actually, I did it last night. Jasline Morales, case number 714, opened 4/1/2009. I know you were bringing up some information that possibly Jasline's been located. So what do you bring us up to speed as far as what happened before the found part, Deborah?
Okay, well, I requested that you open this case because it was, she'd been missing a couple of days when I gave it to you last night, and Jasline, a year old, and it was a non-family abduction. So, you know, and missing for a couple of days, and she was abducted. So, you know, it's not like a non-custodial parent took her, which, you know, we're very interested in making sure that those get resolved quickly too. But when it's a non-family abduction, that worries me a little more.
What Deborah really does is when there's a family abduction and it just happens, a lot of times she won't give it to me because statistically, family abductions, especially, you know, the older they are, that usually they're resolved pretty quick.
Well, if there's a case where they suspect, you know, if someone has, you know, bipolar or something, or needs some sort of medication and they didn't take it, which could present a problem, or if they're, you know, they have a violent history or a possible weapon, or, you know, depending on circumstances, sometimes they give it to you right away, but most Amber Alerts get resolved quickly. So sometimes I wait that extra day, you know, and I wait for them to be missing, you know, 24 to 48 hours first. But I try to do the best I can to, you know, get urgency on the ones that need it, and we really have no way of knowing for sure, you know.
Okay.
So we try, but this one, she has been located, and she has been located safe and unharmed.
Okay. Well, as far as the disappearance, let's bring that up first. Can you?
Okay, what was that, Brian?
The disappearance. Can you tell us about what and why? I mean, I don't even know.
There wasn't a lot of information. You know, it was a fresh case. But
okay.
She was abducted by her mom's boyfriend, and when I gave you the case, I didn't know who the abductor was. But a 22-year-old man abducted his girlfriend's 1-year-old child.
Okay. And she's been found safe, for sure.
Yes, she was. They located the man just before noon today, and he was deceased by suicide. Jasline is about 18 months old. They found her in a rural area, the 3500 block of Oak Valley Road.
Mm-hmm.
And she was locked, and this is in Texas, in the Waco area. She was locked inside of a parked Ford Expedition that belonged to the mom's boyfriend, whose name is Jose Andre Martinez. Police officers broke the windows in order to get Jasline out. It was really hot in the vehicle, and they did take her to Navarro Regional Hospital as a precaution. Mm-hmm. But she is fine. She's well, and she's fine, safe and unharmed. His body, Jose's body, was found near the vehicle. And a justice of the peace determined that he had killed himself. I guess that's a strange person to...
This reminds me of something we just talked about. Am I getting deja vu here?
It remind you of the Connolly case.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We covered that a couple nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it was. It was Monday night because Duncan and Jack Connolly, actually, the father's body was 60 feet from the vehicle, and unfortunately, they were deceased inside of it.
Okay.
But yeah,
well, this is good news. This is really good news. The only thing I caught was Jose. There's a reason why I say that. It's unrelated now. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it means anything. But there are 2 dream drawings. One of them is the number 4. It's in number 4 in like a block or something like that. And it says she is not with Jose. 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 Second dream drawing says on Houston. I don't think Houston, Texas is where you're talking about. That's all there is on Houston, and there's I don't know what those are. I really don't. No clue. But that's what they say. Case 714. The good thing is that the case is closed, and she was, found safe. So, any other comments on this case? We're going to get moving on to 402. Deborah.
Nope, we can move on to the next one.
Okay. And I will update that as located, and I'll do that in just a second. Okay.
And I will be moving her in both of the forums, in both the missing persons forums, to the located section.
Okay. Moving on to. Oh, go ahead.
And putting the documentation there.
Okay. Once again, guys, please go to missingpersonforum.com. The URL is up at the top. All these cases and links to the dream drawings that I do are in there too. Or you can just go to my website. Next case, 402, Pedro Mendonca. Is it Rui Pedro Mendonca, Deborah?
I would pronounce it Rui, R-U-I.
Okay, Rui.
That's me. Some of these names, they're hard to pronounce. We're not quite sure.
Any name for me is hard to pronounce. Okay, anyways, we discussed that we did not get to this case last night, so we said we were going to be doing this case and then the relationship to Madeleine McCann. Now, we already covered the Madeleine McCann case, but I am going to bring up some issues, I think, with Madeleine McCann and what's really going on in Portugal and in some other areas. The case was requested to be open, on I'm guessing early June of 2007. I actually didn't open the case until June 20th of 2007. Deborah, what information do we have for Rui?
Rui, Pedro, and then there's another name in there, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it. It's Teixeira, and then Mendonca.
Yeah, I've seen that. I wasn't going to say it either. I didn't want to mess it up.
I didn't either, and normally I'm not afraid to try. Well, he's been missing since March 4th of 1998 from Lusada, Portugal, and I'm not sure if I pronounced that correct. His date of birth is January 28th of 1987. He was 11 years old at the time that he went missing, and he would be 22 years old right now. He had a birthday in January. He was 59 inches tall, so 4 feet 11 inches tall and 99 pounds when he went missing. White male, brown hair, brown eyes. He has protruding ears. It says here that his upper incisors are slightly elongated, so that's something that's a little distinguishing to be able to identify someone. On that day, on March 4th of 1998, he had his bicycle. He rode his bicycle about 2 o'clock in the afternoon to his mom's office, and he asked her permission to go for a drive with a 22-year-old male, which that just red flags. His mom refused and told him to ride his bike behind her office there. And about 5 p.m., Rui's teacher called his parents because Rui was late, and he normally wasn't late. Parents started looking for him right away, and shortly after they started looking for him, they found out that a neighbor located his bike about 3 p.m. It was hidden in the woods nearby where he had been riding his bike. They still are looking for him at this point, even though that they searched extensively for him. Rui's mom believes that he was abducted by a pedophile ring, and a few months after he went missing, police showed her a photograph on a global pedophile website. The picture was not a really clear picture. It showed a boy that looked like Rui Pedro, and his mom does feel that it was him. And I've read some stuff about this case. I know you know a whole lot more about it. You want to go ahead and share your work?
Yeah, when you said I really don't know too much about this case, other than the dream drawings, what I'm, refreshing right now. I've done a lot of work on this case. There's actually 2 pages of information up here. That picture that you're referring to, I thought it was horrible to actually show that picture. I know a lot of people have. I minimized the picture, and it is on the site, but you're going to have to see it in thumbnail version. You can kind of get the gist of what it is. I don't know if that's him or not. but I do think his mom is correct. He was abducted for a pedophile ring. Let me get real quick. One thing overseas, a lot of the dates are reversed. It goes day, month. Okay, yeah, I think it's Lusada, Portugal. I think
that's how I would pronounce it.
Okay.
Lusada.
Okay. The dream drawings were done June 20th, 2007, and there is a lot of stuff here. There are 2 pages. Let me cover just the dream drawings. There's a lot of comments and stuff on here. How this relates to another case, Madeleine McCann, and actually a few others. But it all basically states the same thing: how children are exported as commodities for, I think, for the internet, for child pornography websites and issues like that. Looking at this picture, it does seem like something that's possible, but I don't even want to imagine what could be going on. The first one says Dark Light Video. Dark Light Video, that actually might be a name of a video production company. Basement was taken by Philip. Police are involved in Video Ring 7. And then notice some of the things I'm going to say here. Catholic Church, do not trust. Lisbo House Flat. That could be Lisbon, correct? I think we may refer to that as being Lisbon or not. No, exactly sure.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
A lot of people made that connection.
Police are Catholic Church involved, no trust. Once again, Catholic Church. 116, no air, help please. I believe that the child was confined in this box. In this box, you'll see there's several drawings of this box, and it's just not in this case. And I've put a lot of stuff together here. I did not really review this case like I should have by going on, but I do remember some of the stuff out of memory, especially that photo. The photo is, well, you'll find it if you want to see it. Going down, just reading some of the information that was put here, how it was related to
Cassiopeia.
Yep, Cassiopeia. And then there was some stuff. There's actually Catholic Church do not trust. There is actually a building. There's actually a building that's drawn. It's got some columns and it's got some windows and stuff up top. I think we already found the location of that place. Then there's some mention about Freemasons. I think that kind of went off on a tangent. As far as conspiracy theories and stuff, I'm not sure if I buy that or not. Then there was a drawing which says police are Catholic Church involved, no trust. There's a drawing here that looks just like Robert Murek, and they're taken from 2 totally separate cases. Robert Murek, if you may or may not know, he is a suspect in the Madeleine McCann case. He is British and he's Portuguese. He speaks both languages fluently, and he works with the PJ, Portugal Police. Very close with the PJ. And if you guys want to, the best thing is, I can't sit here and explain to you everything about the Madeleine case in this case. You really just have to read what's out there. The stuff's been public for years. Reading down here, once again, it goes to the Freemason stuff. Not sure if I buy that or not. And then still on the Freemasons. I think point blank, this is human trafficking. That's all this is. And police either looking the other way or participating. Looking down, I'm doing what you guys can do right now. If you just look at the case file, I'm just going down, looking at what's been posted. I'm almost halfway done here. I'm looking for additional dream drawings I did on that one. And then it talks about the photos, how the defense wants to clarify the photos. Deborah, I don't think that photo's ever been confirmed, though. As far as we know, as far as I know, it's never been completely confirmed.
Well, his mom, Marie Pedro's mom, believes it was him.
That's not a confirmation.
And I do think moms have a way of knowing.
That's
and
true.
That it is a disturbing image, for a mom to really say, that is my child. Mm-hmm. I do put some stock in that. Can we actually say it's confirmed? No.
Okay.
It's really not proven, but I would tend to think that it most likely is. Moms have that ability.
No, I understand that, but she's under stress and stuff like. I mean, if it's not confirmed, then it's not confirmed. More than likely, it probably is. But looking at this, it's not confirmed. Posting that image, and I've seen a lot of missing person sites where they got all those images up there. I'm not exactly sure if that's the best thing to do. To do that. That's just my own opinion. But yeah, that's some pretty disturbing stuff. There's actually some pretty disturbing stuff that's been going on with the Catholic churches worldwide. If you guys know that Portugal, I believe that 90% of the country is Catholic-based. I'm not saying all, nothing's wrong with Catholics, but there are a lot of issues going on with what's been going on, and how, and in everything from the orphanages is actually being involved in human smuggling. There have been some really, really sick documents that have come out of what's happened to some children, and those are posted in the Madeleine case. I don't think they're on this case. They're posted on a couple other cases. But you're really going to have to read for yourself. The Madeleine case will take some reading if you haven't read it before. It's approximately 37, 38 pages, but these pages are real long pages. And I'm still covering that case. I've still been working on that case, but it's really long. A lot of this stuff is not in English, but I think I did convert. I did translate a lot of it. Then I posted our last show on there. Deborah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. I know I said we were going to talk about the Madeleine McCann case. I do believe that whoever took Rui is possibly related to the people that took Madeleine. Could be the same people. So moving on, let's go to Madeleine McCann, which is actually case 347, which is Dream Drawing 5441. The way it's listed in the case files, it'll actually take you to DD 5441. It was actually that dream drawing of the night that was turned into a case.
You had that dream as to her going missing or being able to have knowledge of that, correct?
No, exactly. No, I didn't know. No, as far as the Madeleine McCann case, I had no idea this child was missing from Portugal until I believe the 5th of May, 2007. Let me get the case open. No, I didn't have any idea, but I can tell you without a doubt from reading the first dream drawings, it was definitely about this case. There's no doubt in mind. It's one of the reasons why this is really, really kind of frustrating to me. I'm going to get the last page open. There's so much stuff here to cover. It's impossible to do this on the show. Okay, the last page is page number 33. And I'll just go to that. I'll post the information. But what I wanted you to see is some images tonight that I've worked on. They've been posted on my site for a long time now. But I just want to show you something, how, for a fact, that the Portuguese police, including Robert Marek, is involved in smuggling of human beings, in child pornography, and drugs. But let's get started real quick. Deborah, can you tell me about what happened or what we think may have happened to Madeleine McCann?
Well, did you want me to give her stats?
Yeah, just real quick.
Okay, I'm just double checking what you want. Okay, Madeleine has been missing since May 3rd of 2007. Her date of birth is May 12th of 2003. Madeleine is getting ready to turn 6 next month. Blonde hair, green eyes. She was approximately 2 feet 11 inches tall when she went missing. She went missing from Praia de Luz or Praia de Luz, Portugal, however you pronounce that.
I say Praia de Luz, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, and I've been doing it for years, but that's what I say.
I could be pronouncing it wrong too. I don't know. But her parents had taken her, the whole family actually, her siblings also. They were on holiday there at the time, and she was taken from their, I guess we call it a hotel room. They have a different name for it in Portugal. And I guess I'll let you go on from there, Brian, because you know so much more about this.
What we do know is that Gary and Kate McCann took their 3 children to Praia de Luz, Portugal. I believe it was the Ocean Club Resort, which advertised himself as being a child-friendly place to stay. And there's no doubt in my mind that the parents actually thought that was the case. There were some issues with the parents wanted to go out and to dinner every night with their friends. They're doctors, and I believe a lot of their associates were there with them. I think there was like 7 people there with them. Either way, they left their children unsupervised in an apartment or hotel room, whatever you want to call it, and they were doing that on a regular basis. Which is not a good idea, but the parents did believe that she was safe. I kind of doubt. I think that they thought that she was safe, but they did make the wrong move. The bar that they went to was approximately, I'd say, 100 meters away, and the initial report saying it was 50 yards. That was not true. There's a lot of things that was put out that wasn't true. That a lot of people suspected that possibly that Madeleine had an accident when she wasn't being supervised, and that the parents covered it up. From what I've seen and all the dream drawings and all the stuff like that, and that's completely bogus. The parents are hiding something. I think they're hiding their actions. They don't, when they made the initial statement to police, they didn't. Their daughter's missing. They didn't want to go to the details of how guilty they were as far as it happening. That could be a normal reaction. You're concerned about your child, but when you make an initial statement to police, you don't want to change that story. So I think that's what really set the ball rolling as far as them becoming suspects, which they are still suspects, or Guido, or whatever you want to call it. They are suspects by the Portuguese police for, they're saying the death of their daughter. I believe that Madeleine McCann was abducted by a man named Robert Murek and his associates. I don't think Robert Murek's in charge. I think that there's actually an entire ring, if you want to call it the mafia, whatever, of human smuggling that's involved taking children out of Portugal and sending them elsewhere. I believe some of the places that were in Spain, and then out of the country to parts of Northern Africa. And I forget all the other city. All that stuff is posted in there. But there is definitely, without a doubt, there is definitely a human trafficking issue in the country. The Portuguese police, I brought this up before, are corrupt. They take bribes. They look the other way. The town of Pedro only has a few officials. The official headquarters of the police, the PJ that we call, are not even in Pedro. Robert Murek, I believe, works for, I'm not saying that the PJ works for this organization. He speaks fluent Portuguese, and he speaks fluent English. He's actually a dual citizenship, I believe, from Great Britain and Portugal. He's in the area. He has a home right next to where the family was staying. I believe that him and a couple other people were involved in actually staking out the area. They saw Madeleine, and she fit what some client was looking for. I'm not just saying this, guys. I actually have dream drawings and stuff that will back that up. But more than that, we actually have photos. I believe that Robert Murek spotted her along with another member of the Portuguese police. Now, Robert Murek says he's not part of the Portuguese police, but the information that we have is he works very closely with them. And you'll see if Robert Murek was a suspect, yet he was working with the Portuguese police interrogating the parents, which is completely ridiculous. Either way, he saw her, had one of his buddies actually photograph her, probably sent that picture to his client. Remember, we're dealing with commodities here. Sent Madeleine's picture to his client, and did that probably via Sergente, however you pronounce his name. He's a Russian guy who's friends with Robert Murek and friends with this one guy that we're going to be mentioning, who's in some pictures here. Let me bring up some pictures real quick. I'm not exactly sure how you guys can see that. Let me get rid of the thing up there. Okay, now I want you to pay attention to something here. This is another missing person case. This is the mother of a child that went missing. The child's still missing, but the Portuguese police say that she murdered her child, and that's what happened to her when she didn't want to confess to the murder. If you guys look, yes, correct. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. If you'll see, there's pictures. They're being arraigned right there, and she didn't want to confess, so that's what they did to her. This is completely proven. Look at the people in the pictures. I want you to take a close look at the people in the pictures. And like I said, my facts are not. I mean, the facts are all in all the pages. Okay, this case is, like I said, I haven't been doing this case for a while, but let me show you something else. Okay, there's some pictures here. And I know if you can barely see this, they're on. If you go to the website, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see the picture at the bottom left. That is a picture of Madeleine McCann and her siblings. And you'll see a picture, I believe that's of Gary. But anyways, you'll see a man in the back. He looks like a black man. He's a dark man, kind of muscular built. You'll see him right there. And then if you look right above, you'll see that same guy. Okay. You see the same guy with the glasses. Okay. Look to the right. It's the same guy. Okay. Look to the right again. There's the same guy with Robert Murek. Okay. Now this picture was taken after Madeleine was abducted. Why is the guy right back there with the camera looking at Madeleine McCann? Why is he in that picture? Okay. Anyway, so that same guy is in the same photographs with that woman that I just showed you earlier, being arraigned. Okay. He works for the Portuguese police. Okay, he works with cases like this. We found this out. If you look down in the middle, if you read all that stuff, it'll actually explain to you everything. That guy is actually he's showing his badge right there. Okay, and this was some 3 years earlier at a protest. That's him showing his badge. This is the same person that was involved in interrogating or actually beating this woman to death almost. You see her pictures right there. Once again, a missing child. Okay, what I'm showing you is that there's the guy in the photograph. He's walking side by side with Robert Murak. How is that possible? Okay, they know each other. There's a lot more. I'm just showing you just 2 examples of some of the stuff. There's hundreds and hundreds of photographs that we have up here, but I mean, you see the pictures don't lie. And that's him, and we got his name. There's a bunch of information. But what I'm saying is that if you look at that initial picture of Madeleine, there he is in the background. That's him, and the Portuguese police never denied it. That wasn't him. And there's a lot of research that's been done. And all I'm saying is that Robert Murak knows something, and so does most of probably the Portuguese police that work down there. And they are just covering it up. And why hasn't this been exposed? Because it's the mafia. The mafia don't talk. I mean, there's rewards out. I believe there's a £2 million reward out for information leading to finding Madeleine McCann. If you're in the mafia or in this, you know not to talk because that's your family's life. Okay, there's a reason why no one's finding her. But the good thing is, I think that with the national exposure that Kate generated in this case, this is a very popular missing person case. That actually prevented Madeleine from getting out of the country, and I still firmly believe that Madeleine McCann is underneath Robert Murak's mother's home. He lives off his mother. He also worked with Sargenti in this porn business. But anyways, I believe that she's still underneath his home. Underneath the town of Paradolets, like I said before, there's a system of caves that I believe that dates back to the Roman period when there's actually aqueducts and sewer systems and all that. There's an extensive network of caves. A lot of them are unmapped. Some of the maps that we found don't even cover a lot of the things that are under there. Underneath Robert Murak's house, there's a secret chamber. Why is there a secret chamber? Well, it was put there for smuggling purposes and a lot of the reasons, some other reasons that the architect said. We believe that there is actually a connection between that secret passage and another room. That room I've drawn, 10 or 15 different times showing up the same way. But it's connected to that room, the secret room that apparently the Portuguese police said they searched. Now, all we know is what the Portuguese police tell us and what the British police, I believe there's 2 or 3 British police that were allowed to come down there. That's all we know as far as what's been searched. They said they searched it. I don't believe it. And I think if they did search it, they didn't go down, they didn't search and see if there's a connecting adjacent room. I believe that adjacent room connects to a tunnel system that leads right out to the ocean. We have tunnels. There are tunnels that huge tunnels that you can walk right up. And we have pictures of them. People went down there that you can walk right through that tunnel and into whatever. If somebody knows that area, Robert Murak or whoever else, it's so easy to. More than likely, they're smuggling drugs. So what's the difference? So they found a little British girl, and the way that she looked, she met the criteria of some client. And that's what happened. And unfortunately, as time goes on, the chances, I think, of Madeleine being found alive are decreasing. Then there's been sightings all over the world. Most of that comes from people that mean well, but really should. No, and I can't even say that. That mean well. Unfortunately, the press blows, especially in this case, blows stuff out of proportion. And there's a lot of stuff that I think that shouldn't have happened. But I really hope that Madeleine is found safe wherever she is. I really wish that somehow somebody could take jurisdiction of this case, be it the FBI, because the FBI does investigate international human trafficking cases, be it the FBI, be it the British police. The British police really need to get in and take control of the operation and really do a thorough search from Robert Murak's house to see if anything connects to that. I mean, that's all I have to say. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and I firmly believe that she's down there. See, and I was calm. You still with me?
You did real well, Brian.
Thank you.
I was worried.
But what I say, these pictures, I know they're hard to see. There's a lot more pictures up there. I mean, there's some stuff up here that you'll just read. I mean, I don't know. I can keep preaching. Please check out Robert Murak's house. Robert Murak's. If I was Robert Murak, and I say, listen here, y'all think I did something, right? pay me, pay me X amount of dollars. You can come search my house. I'd love to do that. I'd charge admission. Come on in. Here's whatever. And but to refuse, people to search your home other than your buddies, the PJ, who we know are your buddies. Okay, you're with them. Okay, okay. What's up with that? It just doesn't make any sense. And then unfortunately, what had happened is when the McCanns actually, when they make their initial statements, a lot of the stuff didn't match. And that's, like I said, when you make an initial statement of the police, and they're smart enough to know that you don't change your story. So they stuck with that garbage. And I think it was ego-based. I think they just didn't want people to know that they did not make the right moves. It doesn't make them terrible parents, but you should admit something's wrong, because what you're doing is you're affluent people. You're telling the rest of the world, say, hey, we're doctors, it's okay to do this, and it's not. I mean, common sense tells you it's not. Gary and Kate, it's not. I think which caused a lot of problems, because then you're getting everybody, well, maybe they did do something. And I think statistically 60% of the people think that you covered up an accidental death of Madeleine, and that's not the case. There's a lot of stuff that if you follow these dream drawings, that has come true. Months and weeks and months before it actually happened, including the arrest of Kate or the Guido status of Kate and Gary McCann. If you read the case file, you'll see it became really popular. Everything else I have on there is right. What about the ending? Let's make some difference here. Let's do what you can. Please, if you can, search the area. It's all I'm asking. Search Robert Marek's home, however it takes. But that said, I'm off track. Anything else I'm missing here? I know we're not supposed to really cover Madeleine tonight, but back to Rui. I think it's just another example of what's going on. Unfortunately, or fortunately, with Madeleine, we did some statistics. We posted names. We came up with a list, I think, of 23 or 24 missing children in Portugal around the same area that are missing. Most of the families will not talk for fear of what will happen to them.
If they even report their children missing, with the corruption and the problem with the PJ there, they could end up just like Joanna Cipriano's mom, who was beaten and she's jailed.
Right. This is not the United States. It's not Canada. And it's not Great Britain. This is a different system down there. Like I said, if you're a woman, okay, your husband can beat you and rape you, and that's okay. There are women's prisons where you don't even want to know what's going on. I'm saying, just go to CIA.gov or whatever your country has on Portugal. Just look it up. It's completely ridiculous. You can do whatever you want. You can molest your children, and it's cool. Okay. So that said, like I said, stay away from Portugal. And then Praia de Leste is a tourist town. They generate all their income from tourism. You don't want some little girl going missing down there, especially a British girl, where most of your tourism comes from. You don't want that. So you cover it up, and then the best thing you can do is blame the parents. And then let's start digging around Praia de Leste, looking for wherever the parents hid their daughter. It makes no sense. Anything else?
Could you check your Skype really quick? Something I would like to say here, because we do complain a lot about, we all complain about, the Amber Alert. There should have been an Amber Alert, and, why isn't this case getting attention?
Well, there's no Amber Alert system for Madeleine McCann.
Everything else, but we are very, very fortunate. We have the best system in the world.
Well, we do, but there's issues. I know Kate and Gary are trying to adopt through the EU.
We have to be grateful too, because we have it a lot better. I mean, look at the way it is in other places. Right.
My suggestion with the Amber Alert system, look, it has to be, you can't use red tape when it comes to missing people. Local authorities need to be the sole authority that say, is this an Amber Alert case or is it not? Don't go by red tape, or do we have a description of all this in a vehicle and all that stuff. There are so many cases that are not Amber Alerts where they should have been. Aji, for an example. Okay.
Right. This is something that we talk quite a bit about. In another situation, Aji's situation, another one that happens is children that could be in their early teens. When they're approaching 18, I don't think we have quite as much worry, maybe, but they want to classify a lot of teenagers, even if they're 13, as a runaway. And so there's Amber Alert. If they're 13, I don't care. They're missing. They're a child, and I don't care what the circumstances. If they don't have the right information, if a child is missing, it's still an Amber Alert in my eyes.
Well,
and
there's good reason why they don't Amber Alert everything. There is good reason because, like I said, there's statistics. I saw something somewhere that says 250,000 children go missing a year in the United States of America. No, okay, no. If somebody runs away or Mom, I'm leaving for tonight, you can't count that as a missing person case. Those statistics are wrong. If you look at it, there's very few children. Very few children go missing.
18 is, another thing.
We have a database of approximately 9,000 missing people. They are genuine missing people. If 250,000 people children went missing every day or every year in this country, it's wrong. Point blank, it's wrong. That said, what I wanted to say about the Amber Alert system, it needs some. First of all, we need an Amber Alert TV network. There needs to be a dedicated satellite channel or whatever, just showing pictures. Those pictures should be broadcast in airports, wherever that people sit around in, doctors' offices or whatever. At least have the option of saying, hey, let's turn off CNN, headline news and show some pictures. With technology today, it's too easy to do. There's channels for everything. We need a missing persons channel. Doing that and then basically leaving the decision in order to declare an Amber Alert up to local authorities, because they're the ones involved in the case. They can make the correct decisions and not have to wait and go through, jump through hoops to make this Amber Alert happen, because that's what happens in a lot of cases. There has to be so many things that are met before an Amber Alert, can take place. It should be the local sheriff or whoever's in charge should be the person that's able to make that call. And then if that person is wrong, they should not face any type of reprimand or something like that, because all they're trying to do is help. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if they were to be wrong, no harm, no foul.
Right.
People were looking for a missing child, and that's a good thing. So, yeah, I completely agree. I think that would be a great way to handle it, and unfortunately, that's not happening right now. Hopefully we'll have modifications to the system.
Yeah, and speaking of people wanting to help, everybody, if you're helping, that's good. I mean, no matter what's going on, I mean, they're only trying to help, and you can't, I guess, condemn a person for trying to help, however they may do it. There's a lot of new. I know Gail St. John's working on a new missing persons site. There's also another site I want to bring to your attention. It's called truthforthem.com. www.truth and the number 4them.com. It's a good site set up. It looks good. They're adding cases daily. Like I said, there's a lot of new websites coming out. Give them a look. Everybody's trying to help, and that's really all that matters. If you try, that's good. If you didn't try, well, I mean, you don't have to try. I'm just saying, but if you're here, try. Anything else, Deborah? Because we got to wrap this up.
No, I think that's all. You can go ahead and wrap it up.
Okay, guys.
Time.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Once again, have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.